Before the world sees your wins, your soul has to feel your work. It's the reps nobody applauds that produce the wins that do, all through a shifting of your identity into a dominator. This is all done in the dark every single day. So let me be your guide as I welcome you to this episode of the Dark Work Daily. Hey, happy Wednesday, Dark Work Daily. We've got ourselves back straight into the run of life. We've been home for less than 24 hours and we're already on the go. We're already back in the city and back out. And that's the thing, that the pace that we have to go at to be able to have things be great. But here's why we went to the city this morning. My son has now graduated college, and so he's progressing in professional track. And so obviously you want to find his best you can opportunity to get to the highest level possible, which in the world we know is the Olympics, the Worlds, that kind of thing. And you have to find ways to do it that benefit your capabilities. I am half white, half black. My wife is half Puerto Rican, half Filipino. And the lineage that we have on every side, besides the Philippines, almost is like weird or non-existent because of adoption and weirdness. But just so happens that there's a straight line to the Philippines of bloodline that allows my son to get his Filipino, pretty much his dual citizenship, or his naturally, what do they call the nationality, or whatever you want to call it. He gets to be a member of the nation of the Philippines. I can't think of words right now.
Because it's Filipino-American.
It's Filipino-American. But he gets to actually represent the Philippines as an individual who is trained in the States and has the ability. But here's what's cool about that, or why. There's an ability for him to continue his training to pursue a big dream, which would be to be an Olympian. And that is something that everybody gets an opportunity to do. But I think for all of us pursuing something big, there's always going to be different pathways you have to take to get to your end destination. This was not an idea until maybe a year ago, right? But then the idea is now, it's done, it's real. And so he's going to be able to step in the next stage of his dream of chasing the opportunity to be an Olympian. And that, I think, while we're talking about my life and we're talking about my son's opportunities, the whole idea of why I say these things to you and how I give these messages out to the world is because I try to provide opportunities of example. Things for us to look at that are outside what we know. Oftentimes we'll go, that's not real, that's not possible, but you're operating from your awareness and from your perspective and what your experience is, which makes logical sense. But sometimes you have to step away from that and go, maybe there's an experience or an opportunity or possibility outside of what I see and know to be able to pursue and achieve the thing that I desire. And that is the biggest key. The people who are successful in life aren't the ones that have everything laid out and follow the perfect path. It's the ones that find ways to find opportunities, find ways to pursue paths that don't become apparent to most people, because those individuals are full of possibility. There's actually a study done by individuals looking for luck. They have people that would say that they're lucky and those that would say that they're unlucky, objectively by each person, right? Which is hard to be objective about luck. What they did is a test. They had these people, in fact, look at newspapers, and they would go through and they'd count the amount of pictures in the newspaper. And one group was the group that said they're naturally unlucky. One group is naturally lucky. So the lucky group did something different than the unlucky group. Here's what happened. The unlucky group went through and they couldn't find the exact number of whatever's going on in the pictures. Because they were just trying to count the pictures specifically. They were rigid. They were just tight because they believe they're unlucky. They got to find a way to solve this. The lucky people, they were able to find this picture that literally said there are 47 other pictures. Like there's 47 total pictures, right? And one of them also said if you go to the back, you'll see the exact something. And they had these, you can get a bonus if you actually are able to say this word at the end of this test. I said all this to go, what happened was the people who deemed themselves lucky all saw this picture that said 47. And the other people never found it. And what they concluded was some people who are deemed lucky, all they're doing is being open to possibility, open to seeing what potentially exists out there in the world, because they see the world differently. They see the world as an opportunity, an optimistic place to go explore and experience. And so what happens when you start looking at people who have these lives that seem lucky, it's not that it's luck, it's that they put themselves in positions because of what they see as possibilities that most people wouldn't do because they don't see it as possible. And when you simply are looking for a possibility, oftentimes you find one. When you're not, you don't. So today, be more optimistic, seek possibility. You might find yourself to become much luckier in life. If this episode stirred something in you, good. That means there's work to be done. Don't ignore it, because listening is just the beginning. Because real change happens when you engage and you commit. So I invite you to join the Dark Work community inside the Dark Work app, which is where you communicate with amazing people on the same journey as you. You can find it on the App Store and the Google Play Store right now. Step into the conversations that sharpen your habits, strengthen your identity, and keep you locked in to the dark work.